for today's cup of coffee with extra scream.
Yeah.
We're recording this on August the 19th of 2024, and we're supposed to be having that full moon thing.
Supermoon.
The energy is odd. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just really, really odd.
It's not cool.
It's just really, really odd. Speaking of really, really odd, in case you've not heard, we be having some problems over here in America. In various and sundry ways.
Yeah.
This is why we ask everybody, pray for us. That's for real. Pray for us.
Yeah.
We need it. And pray for this man too, because this was something that should not have happened. And this is scary on so many levels. I mean, it's not even a matter of paranormal and supernatural scary anymore. It's a matter of everyday scary.
Straight up wrongdoings.
And
malpractice.
Yeah. This is from Daily Mail and is by Emily Joshua and was written on August the 19th of 2024. A Georgia man is suing a hospital after staff allegedly lost part of his skull during brain surgery. Now let that just sink in.
Oh, they have lost part of his skull.
And so this gentleman, his name is Fernando Cluster. He's 62, and he was admitted to Emory University Hospital Midtown in Atlanta in September of 2022 for intracerebral hemorrhage, also known as a brain bleed. And doctors plan to remove a saucer-sized piece of his skull to reduce pressure in his brain, according to the lawsuit. But when Mr. Cluster returned to the hospital 2 months later to have the 4.7-inch by 6-inch chunk replaced, the hospital claimed it had been lost in a pile of other unidentified bone fragments from other patients. Okay, why wasn't it identified? The minute that it was removed from this man's head, that thing should have been labeled.
Yeah.
That is just,
and that's sort of mind-blowing. It's like, how can you have that amount of incompetence?
Really? And it says, a note from hospital staff in Mr. Cluster's file read, quote, "We inspected the freezer where bone flaps are stored and could not find a bone flap with Mr. Cluster's patient identification. There were several bone flaps with incomplete or missing patient identification, but we could not be certain which, if any, of these belonged to Mr. Cluster," end quote. So there were others.
How does that happen? That cannot happen.
Total, complete incompetence. There's no excuse for this. Absolutely no excuse. And it says, without the piece, Mr. Cluster was left with a dent in his head known as skull depression. Well, it's not really skull depression, that's scalp depression. But as you can see, God love him, the man was just malformed. It says, according to the lawsuit obtained by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, it took several days of waiting before the hospital had to order a synthetic replacement in the exact shape of the missing piece. In November 2022, doctors replaced the flap. See, I'm escalated. Let me try that again. In November of 2022, doctors placed the flap, but the hospital allegedly charged Mr. Cluster $19,000.
Because they had to replace something that they lost.
And it says shortly after, he developed an infection, which the lawsuit claims is a known complication of synthetic replacements. Yeah. And it says, this is because certain materials used to make the components, such as components, I'm not even, because I'm escalated, may not always be compatible with tissues in the brain. Because it's made out of bone, not plastic. You can't order this shit off of Wish.
Yes.
And it says when the materials are not compatible, they can set off an immune reaction in the brain, leading to infection. It says the infection left him unable to work, and by the end of the ordeal, Mr. Cluster's bill totaled $146,800. That is just ridiculous.
Yes.
And it says the hospital allegedly did not offer any discounts for the treatment.
He should have got it for free because they lost his skull.
Mr. Cluster and his wife are now suing the hospital for medical bill compensation and emotional damages. Good for them.
Yeah.
And Mr. Cluster and his wife said in a statement, quote, "It is shocking that a medical provider like Emory would lose part of one of its patients' skulls and then refuse to accept responsibility. We now have to live with the consequence of Emory's negligence, including daily fear about another infection in my head and medical costs. We do not know if this has happened to other patients to see if they have been given an explanation by Emory. Our goal is to make sure this never happens to another patient again," end quote. And it says that their attorney at the Atlanta-based Hornsby Law Group told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, quote, "While my clients are obviously upset that they and their insurance companies were billed for the costs related to Emory's negligence, I'm sure you can understand that their focus is on the egregiousness of Emory losing a part of his body and then having a flippant attitude about it afterwards," end quote. Oh, yeah. And that just shows you as far as the state of what the hell is going on.
It's a whole lot of fuckery. The devil working hard. The devil be working hard.
There were other unidentified bone pieces. How is that even a thing?
Because they have gotten lazy. A lot of them do not deserve to be in the positions that they are in those hospitals.
Right. And I would tell you something. It's one of those, as far as people going on grave robbery and stuff like that, no, that doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. This bothers me. They lost a part of this man's skull.
Yeah.
A 6-inch piece of skull.
Half his head.
Yeah. And then had the audacity to charge him. And it's like, if they know that these synthetic materials have can cause severe allergic reaction, because that's what it is, why the hell are they using it?
That's a good question. Don't know.
I mean, it's just like everything has lost its mind.
Everything has been turned on its head completely. This is not how shit should be.
No. Can we have a return to common sense? Can we have a return to people who are actually fucking competent?
Please.
Now, I'll tell you something. It's not like I'm in any position to tell anybody on attorney anything. But it's not enough to sue just the hospital. They need to sue the doctors. They need to sue everybody that was involved in this operation that had any potential contact with this man's piece of skull.
Yeah, this is an all-in-one lawsuit, hopefully.
No, because what it does, it goes basically, you're suing corporate. I don't know that ever trickles down to the ones that are truly, completely competent or incompetent.
I don't know.
I mean, and the thing is, they do it day in and day out. And this is, I have been grateful since the 80s. This is one of those, like,
what the fuck?
That I got out of the medical profession. I am totally, completely grateful that God removed me. Same thing that I am totally and completely grateful that God got me out of the mental health field when he did.
Yeah, this is one of those things that it's making me be like, okay, then how the hell are they not fired?
Mm-hmm.
How come no ramifications have been set in place?
Exactly. Exactly. This is something that should not have happened. This has changed this man's life for the worse.
Yeah.
The fact that there's the possibility that he could have another infection or something like that, there's no excuse for it. No. And I have heard other horror stories coming out of the medical profession. Lots of them.
Lately.
Lots of them.
This is some shit that we're in right now.
Yeah.
It's just total, absolute shit.
It is. It totally is. And so prayers for this man, because, my God, he did not
deserve.
Nobody deserves to have something like that. When you go to the hospital or any kind of a medical professional, you hope that they're competent, but assume nothing. Never assume anything. Find out these people's qualifications. Find out, if you can work with them or not. In our area, healthcare is not the best.
No, it is certainly not.
And it is maddening at times to deal with some of this stuff.
It is. There's no reason that it should be this difficult to navigate the medical field whatsoever.
Well, that was again with the Tucker Carlson interview, where you had the one lady that she had spent 9 years in the medical field, and her brother had worked for Coca-Cola, and they explain some of this stuff. Mm-hmm. The money behind this, it has nothing to do with the wellness of humans. Nothing. It has to do with profit. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I only made it halfway through because I was getting so black-pilled that I couldn't even listen to the rest of it.
Because it's disheartening.
It was disheartening. It truly was. But this was just, like I said, this was horror on a totally different level. So, prayers for Mr. Cluster and his family, and it just like,
this shit ain't right.
No, it's not. And the thing is, we need some kind of an alternative, but we don't have one. We don't have an alternative.
Not yet. It's going to be on the way, I'm sure.
I mean, my God, and Emory is supposed to be one of the best. And if one of the best has gotten to that level of incompetence,
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane.
It's disheartening. That's kind of barbaric.
It's and for them to just sit there and like, oh well.
Yeah.
That was part of it too.
That's
It's just
what I'm
like,
saying. Just to do
whoops.
that's kind of barbaric in a way.
I don't even know if it's barbaric. I think it's worse than barbaric. Because when someone has become so callous that they can no longer understand that their actions are affecting other people adversely, now they need to, they need to go work at the Dollar General or something like that.
Yeah.
To where that their actions are not going to cause harm to somebody else.
Possibly cost someone's life.
Uh-huh. I mean, this man could have died from the, immune system response. It just...
Easily. And it's just like, that's some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, like I said, prayers for Mr. Cluster and his family. And it's like, I hope that the attorney is more successful than they could ever dream.
Yeah. I hope they can win this case.
Mm-hmm.
They should be able to.
I think they should be able to. And it's like a matter of holding these people responsible.
Yeah, having them take accountability for their actions.
Yeah. We need to take the profit motive out of healthcare. Period.
Yes. Since why should it have ever become a matter of profit?
That was where, with that Tucker Carlson interview, they explained how that happened. I had known about it for many years. I truly had. So it was just, it was old knowledge for me, but for other people.
Am I going to have to watch it?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know whether I would advise you to watch it or not.
I don't know.
It's going to be a lot of stuff you're going to be sitting there going, Mama's been saying it since I was born.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Final thoughts.
Ooh.
Yeah, this one wasn't, I'm sorry this one wasn't, there was nothing humorous about this at all to me. But it was definitely scary.
Yeah, that is some shit.
Yeah.
Also, lady, I got the doll. I got that one doll with the curly hair. Like right
the
with
UK
me. The strawberry
doll.
blonde.
Yeah.
Been thoroughly enjoying this thing.
He loves her.
Like
he loves her. The other ones
Yeah.
he has put those up, but this one has
got me.
Yeah.
This one has got me good.
But he loves the other ones too. He loves all of them.
I do.
So thank you again.
This little one, I don't know. There's just something very special about this little one.
Yeah. All of them were so wonderful. I mean, it's just that somebody was kind, that kind of kindness.
It's a blessing.
And we have had people be kind to us this year tremendously, and we thank everyone. Mm-hmm. Anybody, if you've ever said a prayer for us, thank you. Mm-hmm. Because we are constantly in need of prayer.
Yes.
If you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, tinfoil hats, I pray to God that you've never had a horrible experience with the medical field, but I would almost guarantee you that if you're in America that you've had one, at least one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And you can put that in the comment section, or you can send me an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. I'm behind checking my emails. I'm sorry. I do that from time to time, but I will catch up eventually.
It's all right. And if you like these videos, check her out on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube. Also at Werlanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, at Werlanda COCWS.
Yeah. Yeah, we all try to encourage each other over there for the most part. Inform people. It's one of those that some days I'm more active than others. That's true of everybody.
Yeah, they need encouragement.
Yeah.
People need encouragement.
They do. And I will say, the little group that I'm involved with over there, if somebody is in need of encouragement, the other ones jump in and they give it to them.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some cool people over there. I'm very selective.
Yeah.
I really am, and that's okay.
There's nothing wrong with being selective.
No, not in today's world. Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated.
Yes, so that means don't lose anyone's skull.
Yeah. Yeah. If somebody entrusts you with something like that, if somebody borrows something, put their stuff back.
Well, shit, I have been losing a lot of stuff lately, so that I'm like, what the fuck? That same energy's going on?
This was...
Brain glitch?
No, this is more than brain glitch. This was more than brain glitch. And there was a time and a place that somebody... In a world where people don't want to hear the truth... And they want everything and kid gloves. Oh, you're fin. No, let me tell you something. There is a time and a place for a good ass chewing.
Yeah.
When you dealing with somebody else's life, now you better take that shit seriously. If you don't take it seriously, like I said, go work at AutoZone or something.
I was thinking, seriously, what if at the worst case it was not malicious in the slightest or intended to, but someone's brain literally did glitch out or something?
It's
either way, it's not right, and it should have been prevented.
Right. There needed to be oversight on this. Where is this? Make sure that somebody has done this. Why wasn't it logged in? Yes, I labeled this gentleman's skull. Now, I understand brain glitches, but I also understand there's a time and a place. You better have your shit straight.
Yeah.
And especially if you're dealing with somebody else's life.
Yes.
Like I said, oh, whoops is, if you accidentally step on somebody's toe. This is not whoops when you lose somebody's part of their skull.
Exactly, but I'm saying it's not an oh whoops. What if someone's brain just glitched out genuinely? What if at the end of the day that it's like, that's what happened?
I don't know.
And you let that happen?
No, but like I said, there are certain professions you've got to be on top of your game. You know that when you go into the profession.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, get out of the profession.
Mama, there's a lot of people in the profession that do not need to be in the profession.
That's exactly right. As evidenced by this poor gentleman. God love him. I wish him the best. Anyhow, treat other people the way that you would like to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next Cup.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Lost his skull.